Hey y'all, today I'm going to tell you about a medicinal herb that's probably going to surprise you. Sweet corn, officially Zea mays. Now, it's blazing hot right now. It's the end of July. We're hitting 101 degrees. I'm not at home in the mountains. I'm down in the sandhills, and it's hot. Only good thing about this time of year is excellent sweet corn. Really one of my favorite foods. I look forward to this every year. Now let's talk about the medicinal use of sweet corn. And it's mostly to be found in the corn silks. These are the corn silks. This is what comes off the top of your corn. Don't throw these away. This is actually really good herbal medicine. Let's peel this back. Okay. Peeling back the shucks of corn. Never buy corn unshucked. Get your corn as fresh as possible. Leave the shucks on. We'll talk about how to cook it properly in a minute because most people don't cook corn properly. You peel that back a little further. There we go. We got these silks. These silks are best used fresh. Now you can dry them. You should especially dry them if you have issues with cystitis or bladder infections or kidney stones. This is actually a very potent herbal medicine that most people just throw away. And it's so easy. I mean, it's no big deal to deal with the silks of corn. Let me just kind of wrap this back up and keep it fresh. You know, corn, the minute it's picked, the sugars begin to turn to starch. So if you want sweet corn, you want it as fresh as possible. You want to always leave it in the shuck and keep it on refrigeration until you're ready to eat it. It should really be consumed, you know, within an hour of being picked, but how many of us can actually do that? This came from the grocery store. Bought it this morning. So it's fairly fresh. Now, officially, medicinal uses of sweet corn. It's coming from naturalmedicinalherbs.net or Plants for Future. It's the website for Plants for Future. Do bookmark this site while you get a chance. Again, it's naturalmedicinalherbs.net because they stopped updating it, and I'm afraid it may go down. It's the best herb site on the internet that isn't my own, if I do say so myself. Southern Appalachian Herbs or judsoncarroll.com is a wealth of information and all free. But anyway, a decoction of the leaves and roots is used in the treatment of strangury, that's suppress urination, dysuria, and gravel. So the leaves, I would assume that would include the shucks, but certainly the leaves. The shucks are essentially leaves. And the roots. The corn silks now are cholagogue, demulcent, diuretic, lithotropic. What does all that mean? Well, they can help settle a stomach. They can softening. They have a softening quality. That's what demulcent means. Diuretic means removes excess fluids. Lithotropic means it breaks up urinary gravel, kidney stones, bladder stones, gallstones even. Gallstones aren't urinary, but anything that's lithotropic generally helps with that as well. Mildly stimulant and vasodilator. This corn silks actually dilate the blood vessels. They can lower blood pressure. They act to reduce blood sugar and are good in treatments of diabetes, as well as cystitis, gonorrhea, gout, etc. The silks are harvested before pollination occurs, best used when fresh because they lose their diuretic effect when stored and become purgative. Now, purgative, that means not emetic, it's not going to make you throw up. It becomes a strong laxative, actually. Another good reason to have dried corn silks around because sometimes you need that. A decoction of the cob is used in treatment of nosebleed and menorrhagia. That means it actually can help with bleeding. The seed, that's the kernels of the corn, when dried are diuretic and mildly stimulant. That's more stimulant to the digestion, really. It's a good emollient as a poultice for ulcers. Emollient also means softening, and so it's good to put on ulcerated sores, swellings, and rheumatic pains. Arthritic joints. Believe it or not, corn is widely used in the treatment of cancer, tumors, and warts. Yes, you can treat warts and even skin cancers and such with corn. It contains the cell proliferant and wound healing substance allantonin, which is widely used in herbal medicine, especially in comfrey. That's what we call comfrey knit bone. Allantonin stimulates the proliferation of proteins. It heals wounds, it heals broken bones. Corn has it as well. And it's said to have anti-cancer properties and is experimentally hypoglycemic and hypotensive, meaning it lowers blood pressure and blood sugar, or reverse those. It lowers blood sugar and blood pressure, hypoglycemic and hypotensive. So corn, you'll probably never look at the same again. Another reason you should never look at the corn same again. Most people cook corn the wrong way. Now, I grew up at a farm. I love my fresh corn. This is literally one of my favorite things on earth. As I said, leave it in the shucks. Never boil corn. Never, ever, ever boil corn. That is the mistake number one. Rex Stout in the Nero Wolfe novel said that most American housewives boil corn and should themselves be boiled. I won't go that far, but it is a real shame to destroy this wonderful goodness. Now, if it's really old, if it's not sweet anymore, feel free to boil it. In fact, make some corn chowder. That's one of the best ways to use old corn. Cut it off the cob, put it in with some milk and onions and bacon, maybe a little, potato, and you can make a really nice corn chowder. Also really good with clam chowder, corn and clam chowder with bacon and onions. Phenomenal, okay? Roast your corn unshucked. Do not peel it back as I did on this one. This one's not going to get roasted. I'm about to make a shrimp curry, Filipino-style shrimp curry, and I thought, hey, coconut milk and corn, can't beat it, right? So I'm going to throw this in with my peppers, and it's going to be an addition. All the rest of them are staying in the fridge in their shucks. Roast your roasting ears. That's what these are properly called. These are called roasting ears. Put them in the oven and bake, shucks on. Put them on the grill and cook, shucks on. Put them in the microwave for 4 to 5 minutes, depending on your microwave. That's the easiest, fastest, best way to cook corn, actually, and one of the only things a microwave is good for. Put it in there, shucks on, perfectly sealed in its own natural package, 4 to 5 minutes, basically about 5 minutes for one ear in my microwave, and if I put in 2 ears, I go 8 to 9 minutes. You kind of reduce the time a little bit per ear when you put in multiples. Then peel the shucks out. The silks will just pull straight out once cooked. Super easy. You don't have to sit there picking off all the little silks like you do if you're, boiling your corn. They just pull straight out. Butter, salt. If it's got a little age on it, it's not quite as sweet as it should be. A little bit of Creole seasoning like Tony Chachere's really brings out that flavor. That's the proper way to cook corn. Please don't ever let me catch you boiling your corn or throwing away your corn silks, because this is potent medicine, and actually this is the result of thousands of years of human ingenuity. When corn was first discovered, maize or whatever, by the Mayans or the people that came before the Mayans, I don't know, it was just a little grain. This whole ear was just a little grain. Centuries, millennia of plant breeding by human intervention in nature gives us originally dent corn, which was used for feed or for making grits or cornmeal. It's not sweet. Enter the Europeans. The Europeans wanted sweet corn, so they picked up where the Mayans and Aztecs left off, and Olmecs and Toltecs and all that, and they began really breeding the sweet corn as we know it today. Whenever people say, man's a blight on the world, damaging nature, yeah, it can be. Other times we're gardeners, and without gardeners we don't have sweet corn. We can also stop like forest fires and horrible disasters that kill off tons of wildlife. If we go back and look at the ancient, archaeological records, a lightning strike would happen and would just kill millions of deer and buffalo and everything in its path. Well, as humans, we can actually be stewards of creation. So don't buy into the whole environmental hysteria that says humans are a cancer on the world. No, humans are the stewards of the earth, and we're the gardeners and the husbandmen, as they used to say. That's a good word. We should get back to using the word husbandry as terms of farming. We can care for animals. We can be veterinarians. We can be herbalists. We can be farmers, and we can and foresters. We can make a big positive difference in this world. Don't buy into the black-pilled doom and gloom crowd, okay? I don't care what side they're on. So anyway, y'all, good medicine, excellent food. Remember, the best thing, this is actually the best thing for bladder infections and kidney stones. If I was working with like gravel, urinary gravel, I would make a tea of the fresh silks and include parsley, because parsley is also a fantastic diuretic and also helps break up those stones. All right, y'all, enjoy your sweet corn while it's fresh. If you have to store some, best thing to do is blanch them, put them briefly in boiling water, shucked. You have to shuck them for this. and then freeze them. Just blanch and freeze. And they won't be as good, but they'll still have good flavor. You can throw them in your clam chowder this winter. Or your oyster stew, also really, really good with corn. So y'all have a great week, and I'll have another video for you soon.